Like, share, subscribe. Shouts out to the Lions Den community. And don't y'all forget to subscribe to the podcast show. Link will be pinned in the top of the chat.
Just name the channel who could bang with us. I'll prove that you are smoking dust. GGB Media is top notch in this game, y'all. You failures only have yourself to blame, y'all. Cricket TV and a weapons make you suckers cry. Why don't you close your channel, crawl into a hole and die? Shout out to those who love our movement, no, we'll never flop until you get your mouth on LDBC. We are the underground outfit, y'all. We built this whole thing by ourselves, no in y'all. Independence start with self-preservation. If you can't take care of self, then how can you build a nation, y'all? Yup, we got that merch for the ladies and yes, we even got that merch for the babies and we got appliances and everything that you will need. We got some banging songs that make anemic haters bleed.
Well, y'all press 1 if y'all can hear me in the comments. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Press 1 if you guys can hear me in the comments, and we're gonna get right into this video. And salute to all of you guys that's tapped in. I appreciate all of y'all for supporting and showing love. Y'all know what it is. Can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me? Man, all right. Subscribe, share, like, and salute to everybody who sent donations yesterday to the Cash App, PayPal. Man, I appreciate y'all. I seen it. I love y'all. And to the new subscribers to the podcast show, salute to y'all too. Man, listen, bro. Boy, I told y'all this thing going all 12 rounds right here, boy. So yesterday I came in here and told you guys that it was reported that this girl said that she was frightened by TMZ. 2 days ago I told you guys this. She alleged that she dropped the case out of fear. She alleged that she was approached. Her and her parents were approached by investigators who claimed that they worked for a lawyer who represented Jay-Z. Now, that's what this TMZ article stated, as you guys can look through this entire TMZ article yourself. And this girl, she came out and said she stuck to the story. She came out and said that Jay-Z is a liar. Jay-Z put out a lawsuit against this girl in Alabama and Tony Busby. Jay-Z said that this girl allegedly told his people that basically he never did anything to her, that she made the story up and that Tony Busby was capping. Now, this girl came out in her own declaration and said that's a lie. She says that she dropped the case because she was in fear and frightened because of the backlash that she was getting from not only Jay-Z, but his supporters. And she did not want to go through years of that type of situation with, Jay-Z and his supporters, because she said that she was in fear of her life. Now, a lot of people came on YouTube and said that this girl was lying. She's lying. She's making it up. If that happened, if they came to her house, she would have had videos. Well, ladies and gentlemen, do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Ladies and gentlemen, Jay-Z, according to reports, it's a salute to reporter Megan Cuniff. Salute to reporter Megan Cuniff of Legal Affairs and Trials. Salute to her. She's put out a report just now that Jay-Z lawyers want to depose this woman who accused him of R-wording her, and they filed a declaration from an investigator who spoke with her, allegedly. Allegedly, Jay-Z's team is saying that this girl told an investigator that Tony Busby brought Jay-Z into it, and that he was the one that kind of pushed me towards going forward with him, with Jay-Z. So, first of all, they're saying that Jay-Z lawyers want to have this woman deposed who accused him of R-wording her, and they filed a declaration from an investigator who spoke with her, so she wasn't lying. It was an investigator who spoke with her. But here's the catch. And we're going to get into this right now. We're going to get into this right now. Right here, right now. There's the declaration of that investigator. This story is all about who you believe. That girl wasn't lying. She did meet with investigators. They did go to her. Because I got the paperwork right here in front of y'all that allegedly Jay-Z's lawyers just filed. And it says, Declaration of Charlotte Henderson. I, Charlotte Henderson, declare as follows. 1, I make this declaration in support of plaintiffs, meaning Jay-Z, ex parte application in connection with defendant's special motion to strike. Unless otherwise noted, I have personal knowledge of the facts stated herein, and if called upon to testify, I could and would testify, right? She says she's competent to testify there too. She says, I am a licensed private investigator. I was not hired. Now see, look at this person that said cap. It's not cap. Mimi. It's not cap, baby. You know why it's not cap? Jay-Z just filed this. So going back in your hole, lady. Going back in your hole, lady. Going back in your hole. Because Jay-Z filed this, baby. Now sit down and shut the hell up. Now back to work. Sit your ass down somewhere. You don't want this type of smoke. Hey, you better back up out that water. Because you don't know what I'm about to say. It says, I am a licensed private investigator. I was not hired by Jay-Z or Jay-Z's attorney to perform the investigation I described in this declaration. So this person is saying they wasn't hired by Jay-Z. But that girl said that investigators came to her home. And she said the investigators told her they worked for one of Jay-Z's lawyers. That's what the girl said in her declaration. Go read her declaration. But this person says, nah, we wasn't sent by Jay-Z. They just said that they were, I guess, independent contractors. Just, I guess, doing it for the, whatever. But they say that they wasn't attached to Jay-Z. It says, I was not hired by plaintiff or plaintiff's attorneys to perform this investigation I describe in this declaration. Who hired you then? Number 2, on Friday, February the 21st, 2025. That's a great date. February 21st. A lot of things happen. I told y'all this. Along with investigator James Butler. It's kind of funny this information is coming out right now. Did that girl have this on tape? When everybody was saying she was lying about investigators pulling up on her? Could the Ring doorbell maybe that she might have had, or a neighbor caught this on tape but didn't hear what was being said, but maybe just caught it on tape? Let's finish. Number 2, on Friday, February the 21st, 2025, along with investigator James Butler, I met with plaintiff Jane Doe, the person who, on behalf of those defendants, filed a lawsuit captioned Jane Doe versus Sean Combs, case number 24CV07975, in the Southern District of New York, on October the 20th, 2024. The lawsuit, to protect Mrs. Doe's privacy and identity, I'm not disclosing her name or any other facts that enable me to conclude the woman I met was, in fact, Mrs. Doe. Number 3, we met with Mrs. Doe on the front porch of her home in Alabama. Mrs. Doe confirmed that she was, in fact, Jane Doe, plaintiff in the lawsuit. Number 4, Mrs. Doe, Mr. Butler, and I were the only people present. So they say that those 3 were the only people that were present when they went to her house. Number 4, Number 5, throughout our discussion, Mrs. Doe appeared calm and at ease. She maintained natural demeanor and engaged in conversation freely. Number 6, Mrs. Doe's body language, including her nodding, relaxed posture, and steady tone of voice, reinforced that she did not feel scared or intimidated during our interaction. Number 7, at no point during our interaction did Mrs. Doe request to be left alone. Number 8, during our conversation, Mrs. Doe told me, among other things, the following facts. A, she saw an advertisement on Facebook for the Ava Law Group law firm concerning Sean Combs. B, the Ava Law Group referred her to defendant Tony Busby and his law firm. C, Mrs. Doe met Busby for the first time in Houston, Texas. He paid to fly her there. Their meeting to discuss the case took place when Mrs. Doe flew out for an interview that Mr. Busby had arranged for Mrs. Doe to give to NBC News in Mr. Busby's office. D, Jane Doe stated to me that Mr. Carter, Jay-Z, did not sexually assault her. E, Jane Doe stated to me that she originally told Mr. Busby that she had been R-worded by Sean Combs, and a world-renowned female celebrity who was also present for the assault, and that Mr. Busby suggested she claimed that Jay-Z, Mr. Carter, was another R-wordist. Oh, this is getting crazy right here, y'all. Did y'all not read that? This investigator who said they were not hired by Jay-Z or his team just comes out the blue and claims that this girl, she stated to her under no duress that she originally told, and look how this throws Diddy under the bus. How she originally told Mr. Busby that she had been R-worded by Sean Combs, and a world-renowned female celebrity was also present. Who was that female celebrity? Who? For the assault. And that Mr. Busby suggested that she claimed that Mr. Carter Jay-Z was another R-word. F, Jane Doe stated Busby brought Jay-Z into it, and he was the one that kind of pushed me towards going forward with him, with Jay-Z. G, Wesley Williams, know your role and shut your damn mouth, boy. There ain't nothing that you can do that's gonna stop this, sir. You run up on this fire and get burnt, little ninja. Ticket TV business, it don't concern you, little nigga. You understand what I'm saying? Your little cry to try to do this little fake talk in the comment section, Ain't gonna work on me, boy. The hell wrong with you, fool? It's not gonna work with me. It's not gonna work with me. Like I said before, you better get to stepping, boy. You better get to stepping, boy. Katie Shaylin, you hold on. Don't worry about it. I got something for you in a minute. I got something to tell you in a minute. Because, girl, you might have figured this whole thing out. F. Jane Doe stated Busby brought Jay-Z into it, and he was the one that kind of pushed me towards going forward with him, with Jay-Z. G. Jane Doe said Mr. Busby asked her if Mr. Carter had been at the party. Mrs. Doe told Busby that Mr. Carter was at the party, but she told me that Mr. Carter did not take part in any sexual assault of Mrs. Doe. Oh! Hold on! Hold on! Hold on! Now, this independent, alleged investigator that was not hired by Jay-Z or his people, out of the blue, says that this girl told her when, look at G, Jane Doe said Mr. Busby asked her if Jay-Z had been at the party. Mrs. Doe told Mr. Busby that Mr. Carter was at the party, but she told me that Mr. Carter did not take part in any sexual assault of Mrs. Doe. Let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. Was Jay-Z at the party or not? I thought Jay-Z wasn't nowhere around. I thought it wasn't no party. Jay-Z wasn't around. I'm asking, was Jay-Z at the party or not? I thought it wasn't no party. I thought it wasn't a party. Stop again. Let's read G again. Let's read G again. Jane Doe said that Mr. Busby asked her if Mr. Carter had been at the party. Mrs. Doe told Mr. Busby that Mr. Carter was at the party, but she told me that Mr. Carter did not take part in any sexual assault of Mrs. Doe. So this private investigator says that the girl told her that she told Tony Busby, yeah, Jay-Z was at the party. But the private investigator says the girl told her that Jay-Z didn't participate in this heinous act. But my question is, I thought Jay-Z wasn't at this party. I thought it was impossible. And I thought that he wasn't. I thought it wasn't even no party. But wait, there's more. H. Jane Doe confirmed the following regarding Mr. Carter during our interview. I, Jay-Z, had nothing to do with this, correct? Question mark. Right. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. 2, other than he was at the party you were at, so I mean, he did not assault you? Question mark. No. But I thought that it was no party that they was at. I thought it was impossible. That's what I thought. That's all I'm asking. This is not me accusing. This is not me anything. I'm just saying I thought that it was impossible. That all of this was cap. That Jay-Z wasn't there. Diddy wasn't. I thought it wasn't no party. It wasn't no house. 3, and I quote, he was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with any sexual acts towards you? Question mark. Yeah. end quote. I, Jane Doe, said to me that lawyers at Mr. Busby's law firm told her that if she pursued Mr. Carter, she would get a payout. J, Mrs. Doe said to me that shortly before Mr. Busby dismissed the lawsuit against Mr. Carter, Mr. Busby told Mrs. Doe that Mr. Carter was threatening to off her and I didn't put this in part on it, I don't know why, but the last part says in response to her lawsuit and could come after her upon hearing that Mrs. Doe agreed to drop her case. 9, Mrs. Doe stated 4 times that Mr. Carter did not assault her. After Mrs. Doe had voluntarily and consistently affirmed this, we inquired whether she would be open to signing an affidavit reflecting what she had told us. She responded by saying, "But how does this help me?" I declared, under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of California, that the foregoing is true and correct. Executed on this 4th day of March, 2025, at Montgomery, Alabama. Signed, Charlotte Henderson. I'm going to put this on the screen. Now, again, this is all about who you believe. Because I thought, this is just me. No accusations against Jay-Z. No, none of that. I thought that this party didn't even happen. I thought this didn't even exist. Show what up, boy. I thought that none of this, I thought this was all cap. Hold on now. We're going to get right to it, y'all. Put this on the screen. We'll put it on the screen. Hold on 1 second. Put this on the screen for y'all. Because I don't want y'all to say I made a part up. Because, I ain't make nothing up. Everything I'm saying is tried and true and solidified. There's the last part right there for y'all. There's the last part right there for y'all on the screen. Just for y'all who say I was capping. I was never capping. Oh, I told y'all this thing going all 12 rounds, boy. Didn't I tell y'all this thing going 12 rounds? Y'all thought I was in here just lying. Nah. Ticket don't do no lying. Let's start right here on this part. Because there's more to this. And we getting ready to get into this. Oh, we going to get into this deep. So let's go back to this page right here. Right? Declaration of Charlotte Henderson. Right? I, Charlotte Henderson, declare as follows. I make this declaration in support of plaintiff's ex parte application in connection with defendant's special motion to strike. Unless otherwise noted, I have personal knowledge of the facts stated herein, and if called upon to testify, I could and would competently testify thereto. I am a licensed private investigator. I was not hired by plaintiff, meaning Jay-Z, or plaintiff's attorney, meaning Spiro, any of those guys, attorneys, to perform the investigation I described in this declaration. Who did that? So who hired this private investigator? Who sent this private investigator? Who did it if Jay-Z and his lawyers didn't do it? It says on Friday, February the 21st, 2025, along with investigator James Butler, I met with plaintiff Jane Doe, Mrs. Jane Doe, the person on whose behalf defendants filed lawsuit captioned Jane Doe versus Sean Combs, case number 24 CV 07975 in the Southern District of New York on October the 20th, 2024. The lawsuit to protect Mrs. Doe's privacy and identity. I am not disclosing her name or any other facts that enable me to conclude the woman I met with was in fact Mrs. Jane Doe. 3, We met with Jane Doe on the front porch of her home in Alabama. Mrs. Doe confirmed that she was in fact Jane Doe plaintiff in the lawsuit. 4. Mrs. Doe, Mr. Butler, and I were the only people present. So they're saying that it was only the 2 investigators, so that girl wasn't lying. All these niggas on YouTube said she was lying. Didn't nobody investigate her, go see her? Well, guess what? She wasn't lying. She said that niggas pulled up on her, and they did. She said, though, that they lied, and she didn't say none of that shit that Jay-Z said in the lawsuit. She said that she stood on her story. Look at what she told in her report, in her declaration. She told this to TMZ. The woman also claims the alleged investigators asked her if Tony Busby sought her out as a client and offered her money to pursue false claims against Jay-Z, 2 allegations she denied. She claims the alleged confrontation left her intimidated and terrified. But this person right here, who Charlotte Henderson, says that this woman was calm and cool and collected when she met her and admitted that she was and this girl, they said she was terrified according to the reports from her statement she released yesterday, and she didn't know how people found her. She was terrified. But this investigator says, nah, she wasn't terrified. She was calm, cool, in her right mind. They had to say that because if she wasn't, they wouldn't have been able to use her testimony. Who found this girl? But guess what, y'all? Wait, before we go to the next part. That girl, Kayla Shalin, she may have solved this. This is all about who you believe. Because if you go back to Jay-Z lawyers, Alex Spiro, after that girl did that interview that aired, she did the interview. You mad, New Lord? You mad? You said, Mrs. Ticket is a female. You mad? You mad? Are you bleeding right now? You mad? Is this your time of the month? You mad because I don't praise no devil? I only give thanks, praise, and glory and honor to God. Are you mad about that? Or you a punk like these other punks? Are you mad because I seek the truth? Are you mad about that? Are you mad that I will not acknowledge the devil? I will not praise the devil, and I will rebuke every goddamn devil that comes in my presence. Are you mad about that? Are you mad that I am unashamed to say that? I only care about the truth. Everything else is uncivilized, sucker. Are you mad about that? Are you bothered about that? That girl, Kayla Shalin, found it out. Salute to Kayla Shalin. She brought this up. I can't take credit for that. She did that. She said, well, hold on. They asked Alex Spiro. Remember, y'all. Right there. Y'all go subscribe to her channel. That's her right there. Go subscribe to her YouTube channel. She's the one that figured this out. I cannot take no credit for something somebody else did. She said, hold on, Ticket. She said Alex Spiro, Jay-Z's lawyer, was asked if he knew this girl's identity in that press conference on December the 16th, 3 days after that girl's interview aired on NBC. And Alex Spiro, Jay-Z's lawyer, said this when asked.
You mentioned the letters that Busby's been sending out to unnamed celebrities in relation to these causeless lawsuits. What were your interactions on behalf of Mr. Carter before he was renamed in the amended complaint?
Well, after the letter was received, we obviously knew this was completely false and we weren't going to be shaken down. So the efforts were nothing because there was nothing to discuss in any meaningful way.
Do you know who the Jane Doe is, like her actual identity? Has there been research into that on your end?
Do you know? Hold on. Do you know who the Jane Doe is? is what Alex Spiro was asked. Now, for you guys who may have hearing problems or hearing impaired, I'm going to put this on the loudspeaker for y'all. December the 16th.
Power on.
I'm going to put this on the loudspeaker for you guys. December the 16th. Right here. I'm going to put it on the loudspeaker for everybody so y'all can hear that question clearly. I'm going to put it on the loudspeaker. Let me make sure that I put this on the loudspeaker so that everybody can hear. Let's connect it now. We have to make sure we get it connected, y'all. Let's pair it.
Device paired.
There we go. Now, let's play that question again. Let's turn the volume up.
There's nothing to discuss in any meaningful way.
Do you know who the Jane Doe is and her actual identity? Has there been research into that on your end?
Yeah, it's a fair question. Because she's been blacked out in the video and because a court has not unmasked her in court, I'm not going to get into her identity. You will notice that I did not get into some of her issues. I don't want to, it's really sad in many respects, and I don't want to get into that. So I'm not going to unmask her here today.
I'm not going to unmask her here today. He didn't say that he didn't know who she was. Kata Shayla, you caught that, girl. You caught that, girl. December the 16th, he said that. And guess what? They also said, right here, in this paperwork that was filed December the 23rd, 2024, defendant Sean Carter's motion to deny plaintiff's request to proceed anonymously. On December the 23rd, in this writing, you guys can go look this up. This is all public paperwork. If you guys go to page 2, on page 2, Jay-Z's team wrote this. Reference to justice or sunlight, quote unquote sunlight, serve only as window dressing. That's talking about Tony Busby. Make no mistake. You guys read this. This is all out here in the paperwork. Y'all can read this for yourselves. That's why I said this is all about who you believe. This is not about me to cast aspersions for you. This is all about who you believe. Make no mistake, this case, I'm on the second line, y'all, is about retaliating against the rare target who would not pay. Attorney Busby has a history of targeting celebrities by making false allegations of misconduct. And Mr. Carter sought to expose Attorney Busby's latest extortion scheme in a California lawsuit on November the 18th, 2024. Remember, this was filed on December the 25th, 2024, or 23rd, December the 23rd, 2024. This was filed. You can go look at the filing. It says, after receiving a demand letter from Anthony Busby, and y'all can see where it said Exhibit 1 in dark print. Exhibit 1, extortion complaint. At the time, Attorney Busby knew who Mr. Carter was, even as Mr. Carter, meaning Jay-Z, remained in the dark, as he does today, about the identity of Mr. Busby's client. Now, when Alex Spiro was asked at that press conference on December the 16th, 3 days after that girl did that interview on NBC, if he knew the identity of this alleged accuser, or this accuser, I ain't even gonna say alleged because she did accuse him. Alex Spiro did not say, no, we don't know her identity. Alex Spiro said, and I will play what he said again. So I am not putting words in this man's mouth because I don't want to do that. I just want to play what he said when he was asked. So let's roll the tape again. And this time, I'm going to take it off a speaker and I'm going to put it close so you guys can hear this close.
Obviously knew this was completely false and we weren't going to be shaken down. So the efforts were nothing because there was nothing to discuss in any meaningful way.
Do you know who the Jane Doe is, like her actual identity? Has there been like research into that on your end?
Yeah, because it's a fair question. Because she's been blacked out in the video and because a court has not unmasked her in court, I'm not going to get into her identity. You will notice that I did not get into some of her issues. I don't want to. It's really sad in many respects, and I don't want to get into that. So I'm not going to unmask her here today.
I'm not going to unmask her here today, is what Jay-Z's lawyer said on December the 16th at that press conference that he held. And in that press conference, they basically were praised by all of the mainstream media because of that PowerPoint presentation that was basically displaying how Jay-Z was incapable of being able to do this crime that this girl had alleged. But now, if you look at a couple of things, then Kato Shaylin, girl, you got it. I can't even lie. You found it. But if you look at this paperwork right here that was filed by Jay-Z's team on December the 23rd, 16th, December the 17th, December the 18th, 19th, 20, 21, 22, 23. That's 7 days later. 7 days later. And this paperwork that was filed by Jay-Z's team, y'all can look it up in the courts. It's in the courts. It says right there. Attorney Busby has a history of targeting celebrities by making false allegations of misconduct. And Mr. Carter sought to expose Tony Busby's latest extortion scheme in California lawsuit on November the 18th, 2024. After receiving a demand letter from Anthony Busby, Exhibit 1, extortion complaint. At the time, Tony Busby knew who Mr. Carter Jay-Z was, even as Jay-Z remained in the dark, as he does today, about the identity of Mr. Busby's client. This paperwork was filed on December the 23rd. In that writing, they said Jay-Z was in the dark about the identity of this accuser. But when asked on 7 days earlier at that press conference, you guys can look this video up on YouTube, at the 22-minute mark, just press play. And he was asked specifically, Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, if they knew the identity of this woman. And he did not say no. He said, we will not unmask her today. So it's all about you asking yourself this question. If indeed Alex Spiro did know the identity of this girl, did he not tell Jay-Z all of this time? Did he keep that to himself? Because in that press conference, go back and watch that entire press conference. Right? They made it seem as if it was impossible that Jay-Z could even be in any kind of participation in this heinous act. But this private investigator, Charlotte Henderson, is claiming, oh, I wasn't hired by Jay-Z or his lawyers. But that girl told me it was a lie, and that girl told me that Jay-Z was in attendance at that party. But we thought it wasn't a party. We didn't think it was possible it was a party. And they even said, look at the paperwork. It's right there, y'all. It's right there. All in the paperwork. All in the paperwork. On your screen. It said, Jane Doe stated to me that Mr. Carter did not sexually assault her. E. Jane Doe stated to me that she originally told Mr. Busby that she had been R-worded about Sean Combs, and a world-renowned female celebrity was also present for the assault, and that Mr. Busby suggested that she claimed that Jay-Z was another R-wordist. F. Jane Doe stated that Busby brought Jay-Z into it, and that he was the one that kind of pushed me towards going forward with him, with Jay-Z. G. Jane Doe said that Mr. Busby asked her if Mr. Carter Jay-Z had been at the party. Mrs. Doe told Mr. Busby that Mr. Carter was at the party, but she told me that Jay-Z did not take part in any sexual assault of Mrs. Doe. But it goes on. There's another one. And this name is Ian, as you guys see on your screen, Ian Pillinger. And he has made a sworn statement as well. And in his sworn statement, Ian Pillinger says, I, Ian Pillinger, declare as follows. 1, I make this declaration in support of the plaintiff's ex parte application in connection with defendant's special motion to strike. Unless otherwise noted, I have personal knowledge of the facts stated herein, and if called to testify, I could and would competently testify thereto. I am an employee of Guidepost Solutions, LLC, which is licensed to conduct investigations in the state of New York. 2, I was provided with the name of plaintiff Jane Doe, Mrs. Doe, the person on whose behalf defendants filed the lawsuit captioned Jane Doe versus Sean Combs, case number 24CV07975 in the Southern District of New York on October 20th, 2024, based on publicly available records and internet searches. The investigation revealed the following information about Jane Doe. To protect Mrs. Doe's privacy and identity, I am not disclosing her name. And it goes on to say, number 3, Jane Doe has a legally documented history of mental health issues. Now, this was declared yesterday, right? Alex Spiro said Jay-Z was in the dark back in that filing on December the 23rd about who this girl was. But on December the 16th, Alex Spiro said this about this girl mental situation. This is what he said.
Yeah, because it's a fair question. Because she's been blacked out in the video, and because a court has not unmasked her in court, I'm not going to get into her identity. You will notice that I did not get into some of her issues. I don't want to. It's really sad.
Now, he didn't say mental, but he said issues. What issues he talking about? What issues he talking about? What issues he talking about? All right. Think about it. Think about it. He said, I don't want to get into her issues. But now, if you look at this guy, Ian Pillinger, he says 3, and this was filed yesterday. He says Jane Doe has a legally documented history of mental health issues. A, her parents have custody over her son, and she lost custody over her daughter because an Alabama court determined that Doe has engaged in a series of activities, both before and after the child's birth, that the court found to be inconsistent with someone demonstrating good mental health. B, according to the court in that case, Jane Doe has a history of BD, borderline PD, obsessive CD, psychogenic NS. Y'all can read it out right there on your screen. C. Jane Doe's doctor gave a deposition in the case. In that case, a transcript of which is publicly available, in which the doctor stated that Jane Doe has a history of auditory blanks, that is, hearing voices that other people don't hear. D. Jane Doe was in a mental health facility less than 90 days before the defendants in this case sent her demand letter. She has recently been under the care of a psychologist. E. She regularly posts on social media, including Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, about the difficulty she has living with her conditions. F. She alleged in a child custody case that the unwed father of one of her children believed he was Jesus Christ. 4. Jane Doe also has a criminal history. A. In 2023, Jane Doe was indicted on a charge of assaulting and causing physical injury to a detention officer. She was released on bond, but she was thrice since had her bond revoked because she failed 2 D tests and tampered with a third. Most recently, she failed a D test on August the 19th, 2024, which caused her to be transferred from a mental health court back to district court. B. Early in 2023, Jane Doe was charged with assault with bodily blanks. C. In 2022, she pled guilty to unlawfully using or possessing D paraphernalia. E. And I find this very interesting that they're bringing up her criminal history, even though, you know, Jay-Z raps about selling drugs, slinging. Well, I ain't even gonna say that. Y'all can do that yourselves. I ain't even gonna say that. Y'all go through that yourselves. Let's keep going. It says 5. Jane Doe has accused at least 4 people other than Mr. Carter of sexual assault. A. Jane Doe accused someone of sexual assault and branding her on the cheek, but the court dismissed that claim. We don't have no evidence of that. I haven't seen no evidence of that. They didn't put the filing up. B. In a social media post, Jane Doe stated she was a victim of sexual abuse when she was 6 years old. We haven't seen that. C. According to her ex-husband, Jane Doe falsely accused the ex-husband of blanking the daughter they have together. They haven't showed any evidence of that. I would like to see the evidence. C. According to her ex-husband, Jane Doe falsely accused the ex-husband of blanking. Oh no. D. She also accused a man on social media of seeking blank photos of blank in exchange for money and posted a picture of his face. E. She posted on social media regarding a separate incident where someone allegedly carved the word blank into her chest against her will. I declare under the penalty of perjury, under laws of the state of California, that the foregoing is true and correct, executed on 4th day of March 2025 at Brooklyn, New York, Ian Pillinger. So, that is what they're saying about this girl. These 2 people who have, one investigator and one did a background check or whatever. I guess they said they did. They alleged they did. Now, I haven't seen any paperwork from any of these background checks, none of this stuff. So, and the first girl said that she was not hired by Jay-Z or any of his lawyers. The first girl investigator. The girl said that a girl and a dude approached her in her writing. People said she was lying. She wasn't lying. Right? They said she was lying. She wasn't lying. They literally have people who wrote statements. Now, here's the thing right here. In that layout that Alex Spiro did, I have a question to y'all. I want to know what is Alex Spiro saying now about the statement that this person made right here? When the person made the statement, Charlotte Henderson said that the girl told her that Jay-Z was at the party. Now she said Jay-Z told Tony Busby that the girl told Tony Busby Jay-Z was at the party, but told her Jay-Z didn't do nothing to her. Read it right there on y'all screen. Read that part right there on y'all screen. G. Read G. Read G. Right? Read G. Now, again, we haven't seen any lawsuits in her name. I haven't seen any evidence presented that says, hey, she sued this one, sued that one. We haven't seen any of that stuff. And again, so we haven't seen. And the question is, how did they find this girl? This girl's was hidden and all this other stuff, how did they find her? If her identity was hidden? That is the major question right there. See, y'all wonder why people go anonymous. That is the major question I think we got to ask. How did those investigators find who this girl was? If she was anonymous, her name was anonymous, her identity was anonymous, nobody ever put her identity out, how did they find out who she was? Nobody's going to ask that question. And they said she was calm when they approached her. If I filed a lawsuit as a Jane Doe, somebody approached me and asked me about the lawsuit, and I'm like, hold on, the hell my identity was, and they said that she was cool, calm, and collected when they approached her and answered the questions. Listen, they put in here all these negative things about her in this other alleged background check. But they said when they approached her, Charlotte Henderson says that she was cool, calm, collected, and had no issues whatsoever. Everything was calm. Her whole testimony was calm. All this other stuff. She was cool. So they want you to believe what they say, that she testified to them allegedly, but not what she said, even though she said it was cap, that she didn't say none of that shit to them. Make it make sense. And if that's the case, can they show an authentic tape, video, or some sort of information? And no, somebody said, "Is Tony Busby got a snake in his camp?" No, I don't believe Tony Busby got a snake in his camp. I don't believe it. There are a few ways you can know who this person is without Tony Busby having a snake in their camp. You do the math and figure it out. I told you, this is all about who y'all believe. This is all about who y'all believe. Now, I want to know if Alex Spiro is going to address whether or not Jay-Z was at that party or not. And notice, NBC did not find her. You're wrong. I told you what happened. Tony Busby took her to NBC for the interview willingly. You didn't see the write-up? I've been told y'all that. When y'all was like, oh, why would she go to the news? I said, because Tony Busby took her there on purpose. He didn't give him her name. He didn't give him her identity, any of that stuff. Tony Busby was there during the interview, behind the scenes, like I told y'all he was. Right? I want to know, was there or was there not a party? And who was the third person? Female celebrity. Was there or was there not a party? Because the private investigator says the girl told her, read G. It says that Jane Doe, and they said that none of this stuff was possible because they wasn't at the same party and this, that, and the third. They wasn't at no house and all this other stuff. It was impossible is what they said, right? Jane Doe said, read G. Jane Doe said, this investigator said Jane Doe told her that Mr. Busby asked her if Mr. Carter had been at the party. Mrs. Doe told Mr. Busby that Mr. Carter was at the party. But she told me that Mr. Carter did not take part in any sexual assault of Mrs. Doe. So does that mean that she was at the party? Or that he was at the party or not? And once again, on December the 23rd, and this writing that Jay-Z's lawyers did, y'all can look it up. It's online. That whole writing that they did up, where they wanted her. They wanted to, it says right there, defendant Sean Carter's motion to deny plaintiff's request to proceed anonymously pursuant to this case, right? And in that writing, on page 2, December the 23rd, they wrote in this writing that Jay-Z did not know who she was. Read right there. Right beside Exhibit 1. Darked out right there. It says, even as Mr. Carter remained in the dark as he does today about the identity of Mr. Busby's client. But 7 days before that, and this press conference Alex Spiro did, he was asked if he knew that girl's identity, and Alex Spiro said, I won't unmask her today. He didn't say, nah, I don't know who she is. In that same press conference, Alex Spiro said Diddy and Jay-Z were never friends. Now, all of a sudden, who made these other investigators out of the blue come find this girl? How do they find this girl? How do they investigate this girl? How do they know who she is out the blue? All of a sudden. Y'all said she was lying when she said she was approached by investigators. Now y'all find out she wasn't lying. About that part. So you have to ask yourselves a question. Who sent them investigators? That's the question we don't know, we need to know the answer to. Who sent the investigators? That's question number one. And question number two is, if Alex Spiro did not say that he did not know the identity of this girl on December the 16th and said he will not unmask her today, well, does that mean that if he did know, he kept it from Jay-Z all that time as his lawyer? Because if he knew and he did keep it from Jay-Z, wouldn't that be withholding information from your client? Y'all have to do your own math, man. Shout out to Desiree in the Cash App with the donation. Wow. She says he know her because he did it. Well, that's your allegation. I'm not gonna put that allegation out there. I'm not gonna put that's what you saying. I'm not gonna put that allegation out there. Because again, I mean, you have to be able to prove that. Right? You have to be able to prove that. Moneyball, the court clerk does not have the information, sir. You don't know a damn thing about court cases. When a person is anonymous and they file a case as anonymous, bro, the court clerk does not have no secret information about that person, sir. Sorry, a person remains anonymous. What's wrong with you, boy? What's wrong with you, boy? What the hell is wrong with you? It ain't nothing where you go tell the court, yeah, this is my name, but we gonna file it as anonymous. That's not how it works, sir. When you file as anonymous, you file as a Jane Doe. They don't know who you are. Stop capping, brother. You capping, my brother. Like I said, it's all about who you believe. Do you believe Jay or do you believe that girl? That girl said that it's all a lie. She said that she told them people that Jay-Z did it. Jay-Z said that Jay-Z's lawyer said that she told the investigators, from what the investigators were saying, that he didn't do it. So it's all about who you believe, bro. I can only give you what the information is. Y'all have to believe what y'all want to believe. Some people say they don't believe her. Hey, that's your right. You don't have to believe her. You don't have to believe it. But here's the question I have to you. Was there a party? Because the investigator said in the report that the girl told Tony Busby that Jay-Z was at the party. Now, they're saying that she said that Jay-Z didn't do nothing to her. But from what we were hearing from the press conferences, it was impossible for there to be this party. These guys wasn't at this party. Now, all of a sudden, they were? Allegedly? According to what the private investigator says she told Tony Busby? I'm just saying. You have to do your own thought process on this. That's what this boils down to. Right? That's what this boils down to, man. Who do you believe? You know? Who do you believe? Me personally, I don't want Jay-Z to have did this. I don't. You think I want to see a brother do something like this to this type of girl? No. I don't move like that. I don't want to see that. But I'm not. That's not gonna stop me from fairly reporting the situation, bro. I don't give a damn what nobody said. Straight up. Now, Jay-Z, if he goes all the way with this and proves that this girl is lying or Tony Busby is lying, then y'all already know what we gonna do. Tony Busby getting cooked. But if Jay-Z is proved to be lying, y'all already know we cooking him 3 the hard way. There ain't no question. But you have to kind of wait to see how this thing plays out with facts. That's how you have to wait. You know, it's easy to, make allegations. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I told y'all. Everybody got mad at me when I told y'all. Let me tell you something. When you on one, bro, listen. That situation I told y'all with Jay-Z and Salon. If Jay-Z, bro, listen. Let me say this to y'all. A girl coming at you, hitting you like that, man. Jay-Z ain't thinking about that camera right then. Y'all gotta understand that, man. Jay-Z, that he just, grabbed the leg, whatever, grabbed the arm, stopped her from doing it. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. The way that girl was attacking him, a lot of these niggas wouldn't even care. Now, what y'all think Diddy would have did? That girl was attacking Diddy like that in the elevator, right? Just change Jay-Z with Diddy. What you think Diddy would have did? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I'm just telling y'all. You feel me? Straight like that. So I don't want it to be Jay-Z. I like Jay-Z as a rapper. I like Jay-Z as just a artist. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna sit out here and get on my knees for nobody. That's a fact. You did. So it is what it is, dog. I ride with whatever the truth is. We'll find out what the truth is. Somehow, it always has a funny way of coming out. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Marianne Johnson, he would have fighting out, man. Listen, from what I seen, what he did with Cassie, and Cassie didn't put her hands on him out there in that hallway. But what I seen him do to Cassie in that video, shit, man. Trying to tell y'all this. Man. Well, I mean, listen. When it's criminal, the MDA doesn't matter. When it goes criminal, the NDA doesn't matter. That's the thing a lot of people didn't know, Renee. Is when a case goes criminal, or when a criminal activity happens, the NDA goes out the window. The NDA cannot cover criminal activity. I think people forget that part. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Shout out to Lorraine with the donation in the Cash App, and Tiffany with the donation in the Cash App. Salute to both of y'all. I see y'all in the Cash App showing love. Appreciate y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though, man. But Jay-Z's team, they want to depose her, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not against that, bro. I'm not against that. Hey, one thing you cannot say is Jay-Z is fighting. You can't say he's not fighting the situation. Like, he's just sitting back and he's going at this thing. You got to say that. You have to give him the benefit of the doubt as far as we have to see the evidence. See what I'm saying? And that's my thoughts on it. That's my true, honest thoughts on it. I'm going to report the news, but we have to see the evidence. You know what I'm saying? His situation right now is completely different from what we're seeing from Diddy's. Diddy's is not only in jail. Diddy not only has a federal indictment. Diddy got damn near, bro, this man got so many witnesses against him. I mean, damn, dog. You know what I mean? This man got hundreds and hundreds of allegations every day. He getting tons of allegations. He's got almost 100 allegations. So, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. You know what I mean? Salute to everybody that's tapped in. Y'all let me know what y'all feel about this, man. Salute to y'all. Peace.
All right, you guys. So we appreciate everybody that popped in, supported this video. Make sure that you guys shop our merch. We got that new A Weapons merchandise right there below this video. All you gotta do is look below. The links will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well to get the merch, to donate, support the channel, and subscribe to our podcast show. You'll see all those links pinned at the top of the comment section of this video. And we appreciate everybody that supports this channel and our networks. Also, that straight drop weight loss formula. Go to the website. You guys will see that. A link for that will be pinned at the top of the comment section as well. Go right there for all of your weight loss needs. Straight drop weight loss formula. We have a lot of testimonials on the website. You can go to www.str-8-drop.com and get you some of the weight loss formula today. Take your weight loss serious. Get in the gym, work out, exercise, and do what you got to do to stay on point. We appreciate everybody that's been locked into this video. Again, all the links are pinned at the top of the comment section below. Salute to all of y'all. And again, we appreciate everybody who support what we doing over here.